On this week's breaking news, we talk about a leak because LEGO's got a lot of them coming out for some summer sets. And then, of course, it's May the 4th weekend. So we talk strategy, we talk all the gifts and everything you need for Star Wars, and all that and more on this week's breaking news. Today's episode is brought to you by Back to Brick Wear, my newest venture into the AFUL merchandise, the ultimate LEGO-inspired clothing line that's not just fashionable, but also celebrates the very foundation of the LEGO system we all know and love. Imagine minimalist designs that seamlessly blend style and nostalgia. Back to Brick Wear brings you high-quality apparel inspired by the iconic LEGO bricks we know and love. Each piece is crafted with precision and attention to detail, making it a must-have for any LEGO enthusiast. These aren't just your average threads. We're talking about minimalist designs that don't scream at you, but just show your nerddom in a classy way. And of course, they're inspired by designs found in the LEGO system. And you know what screams quality? Embroidery. Almost every piece is stitched with love, featuring those iconic LEGO elements. It's like wearing your childhood memories, but making them fashionable. So whether you're a hardcore AFUL or just want to rock some seriously cool gear, check out the Back to Brick Wear page on Etsy. Dive into the collection, embrace the LEGO spirit, and let's make some memories together. Back to Brick Wear, where the style meets nostalgia. Head over to the Back to Brick Etsy page and let the fashion adventure begin. Happy building, my friends. Hey everybody, welcome back to Back to Brick. I'm your host Garrett, and this is the podcast where we talk with fellow AFULs about their LEGO designs, and we get down to the breaking news to talk about all things LEGO has been up to for the past week. Thank you for tuning in, as always. For my loyal listeners, I appreciate you coming back, and if you're new to the podcast, thank you for tuning in. Make sure to check out every Friday as I do an episode to talk about the latest LEGO news. And as we get into each of these episodes, I always do a little admin, and of course I want to thank my patrons over at Patreon, which you can also become one. They get the podcast early, ad-free. I throw in some instructions and build a fun little community over there as they help with the behind the scenes of Back to Brick. So I appreciate all of your support. Now on the admin side, I've been working on some of the Pokemon submittals, but there's some really good ones out there, so I don't really have any real hope that I'll get selected. It is what it is. They were fun builds. And then working on some commission work. A lot of focus still on Pokemon because, well, that's kind of one of my newer hobbies that I got back into since I was a kid. But that's it on the admin side. Not a ton going on here. I will be talking about our sets at the end of the episode. So if you don't know, I do a set review at the end of the episode to talk about a LEGO set and a reworkable set that I've chosen for the week. And it's May the 4th, so it's time to talk about Star Wars. Our first set is going to be 75417 ATST Walker, and then our reworkable is the Death Star Overbridge diorama by the creator Mox. So I'm very excited to talk about those later in the episode, so stick around after the news. And that's it. Let's get into this week's first breaking news story. First up is the collectible minifigure series 29 has been released. This has the 12 new figures. I'll run through them quickly. The most important one for everyone is the Bionicle Cosplayer. Then we have the Mysterious Ronin, a chocolatier, Boba Cup fan, Cute Witch, Football Goalkeeper, Unicorn Elf, Tuba Player, Trash Monster, Monster Hunter, Marine Biologist, and Robot T-Rex. Of course, you got to have a dinosaur in there because they always do. And the last one was all pets, so that I think they excluded that from this one. But Bionicle one is what everyone's going to go for. I'm excited to just continue getting these series. I was trying to collect them all, but it's just too hard, especially as we're on 29, and there's so many others that try to collect as I've done. But definitely going to have to find that Bionicle one, and maybe the Chocolatier. I think that one's pretty cool. The Fantastic Four came out in July of last year, and they've finally come around to make a set that I think is the best one they've done for this. It's HERBIE, which is the Fantastic Four's robot. It's a 10 plus set at 747 pieces, and it'll cost you $75. You can pre-order it because it will be available in this summer. HERBIE has a single balanced ball wheel, 2 arms, and then its head set that is kind of like a cassette tape. Of course, it doesn't actually balance on a ball. It does have like a flat bottom to it, but it has a coffee cup, and you can remove one of the panels on the inside to see in and see, I believe it's a screwdriver, but it's very cute robot style. It's at the same scale, I believe, as what they've been doing for the Star Wars droids. And for any Fantastic Four fan that liked the movie, which it's kind of a mixed bag for people, you can get this here this summer. Okay, it's time to talk leaks because, well, there's been a lot this week, and I'm just going to run through them because I'll probably talk about them more once they're officially revealed. But our first up is an Icons one. It's for a road bike, so a bicycle, which is very clean looking. I'm not a bike rider. I like the vehicles that they've been doing, but I think they like to do a smaller one, similar to what they did with the moped for that. Ninjago has a six-wheeled like a dragon rising. What's it called? It's a land bounty vehicle. They're doing the new architecture line this time. Instead of Paris, they're doing New York, and it's at night, which is interesting. They have in the background a big apple in black and white with stars, and they've got the skyline and different things, but all mostly in white, gray, and blue. It's definitely a choice. I'm not sure if how I feel about that. Fortnite has their a roller coaster type thing going through the Big Bear. It's called the Rave Cave. Don't know anything about that. Disney has a couple sets coming out, specifically one for Rapunzel's Castle. They even have their own coaster. For Friends has their own roller coaster. It's the Mermaid roller coaster ride. Some additional Friends sets. Harry Potter, we're getting the Hogwarts Castle East Wing with the stone bridge. We have the herbology plants. It's a smaller set. Does have a mandrake, but it looks kind of weird. And a red flower, and then one of those cactuses that I think Neville had as a pet. And then we also have Norbert as one of the buildable creature characters, and this one's pretty cute. It definitely looks like our fire-breathing little friend from the first movie. And then they came out with a Harry Potter bookend. This bookend looks amazing. It actually opens up. It's Dumbledore's office, that you can fold it in and have him looking through the Pensieve. It does have Fawkes as his like Patronus charm. I don't know what that's for, but yeah. And then we get some Star Wars, specifically the Advent calendar, which I think has like one or two new prints to it. But the vehicles look pretty cool. They definitely focus a lot on Mando because, well, Mandalorian and Grogu. And then they have a new Mando set, which is a giant robot or like mech of some sort. Not sure. I'm just going to leave it at that part. Animal Crossing has buildable characters. Timmy and Tommy, Fun Day Out. So the Nook twins. That one looks really cute. I think they did a nice job with buildable characters for that. Technic, we've got the Tumbler that's come out finally. The Ferrari 488 Pistra and the Dodge Viper GTS R. And then a small, these are like their collectible figures, I guess, as the little boxes you can open. They've got different builds you can do in Technic, and then a couple more advent calendars. One specifically is the X-Men are going to be added here for the Marvel, and Doctor Doom, so that'll be a new character to add, and we'll continue to get more and more leaks as we go. Another one that popped up was Chinese New Year. We're getting two new sets for the traditional festivals. Our first one is the Prosperity Carp Leaping. It's $60 at 736 pieces and available on June 1st. And it has two carps. One is swimming on the lower section and one is jumping, and it looks like it's on a gear similar to what they used for the Hail Mary project to have it look like water as it cycles through. There's waves and then a temple arch and some Chinese lettering on the bottom of it. And then the second one is the Ancient Moon Gazing Inn. It looks okay. It's more the, of course, ancient style of it, very much a temple. They've got some lanterns and more classic garb towards it. I liked the karaoke one the best, but I never got my hands on it, so I'll have to find it on the secondhand market. But these ones are coming. That one, is $130 at 1,530 pieces and out on June 1st. The football players, as their new FIFA tournament, have characters and different builds for them. And it seems Cristiano Ronaldo, well, we don't know how he reacted because he's pretty calm, but it didn't seem like he really enjoyed playing with his Lego. I mean, to be honest, they look like crap. So I'm guessing he wasn't a huge fan. I would have just been okay with being a minifigure, and I'm wondering if that's how he felt too, or he was just having a bad day. But I don't know who actually is fans of these sets. I know a lot of people that are interested in soccer, football, might be buying these, but just the design seemed way too rushed and just not quality that I think people are going to be interested in buying. And it seems that he's not very interested in being one. All right, here's the news you need to know, specifically because it's May the 4th weekend. Starting, today, Friday, May 1st through May 6th is the time to buy Star Wars. And they've got all different kinds of offers and promotions, specifically for different countries, but I'm going to primarily talk about the United States since most of our listeners are from the United States. First up, let's talk about our gifts with purchase. The first one we have is this small poly bag of the Razor Crest. It's if you spend $40 on Star Wars sets, but big caveat, it's pretty much like none of the 18 plus sets has to be like the play brick ones and a play scale to even get it. So they've like, it's even more exclusive than the most exclusive gift with purchase set, which isn't even exclusive anymore, and we'll get to that. But it's a very nice poly bag. It's one of the best ones I've seen for the mini scale of it. But seriously, it's such a strange choice for them to do this. The next one is a gift with purchase you get if you buy the N1. It's a kind of lithograph of Mando and Grogu that, like, when it's a holograph, it moves side to side. And yeah, it's similar to what they did for the last one with the Slave One or Boba Fett's or Jango Fett's ship. Our major gift with purchase is the Dark Saber build. Now, this is different because it would usually be linked to the newest UCS as an exclusive, as they've done for previous lightsabers. But this one actually is if you only spend $160, then you get it, which means that a lot of people can get it until they run out, of course. But I think that that's a good idea. I know a lot of people are like, oh, it should be exclusive. It should be specifically for the UCS. And I think that was too much of a paywall for people, so that they just decided, well, maybe we should just open it to the rest of the public. So that's another one that you can get for Star Wars purchases. Now, over on the Insiders Reward Center, we've got a few. The first one is a poster. It's the N1 Starfighter in a really beautifully done poster at 1,800 points. And that one's, I like that one a lot. The next one is 2,500 points of the Mando and Grogu on a metal card. So they're colored, but the rest of the card is looks like Beskar with some mix of Lego bricks in it. And it's very expensive for something that I don't think is really that great, but I do always collect kind of the gifts with purchase for each year. I guess it's not a gift with purchase. It's over on the Insiders Reward Center. So who knows how well that'll sell out. But let's move into the actual sets themselves. First one is the new Ultimate Collector Series set, The Mandalorian's N1 Starfighter. This is going to be $250, and it's a great representation of the N1. I wish that they would done the old school Naboo yellow and silver one, but it's the Mando and Grogu TV show. They're gonna want to do this one. The next couple sets we have that already have come out. We had the Yoda bust and Vader bust are out, so those will be included as Star Wars purchases. And then we've got some of the brand new the Razor Crest play scale, the Republic X-Wing Starfighter, Anzelian Starship, the AT-RT Attack, and Grogu as a buildable figure. All of those are coming out, and those will all be double VIP points for those Star Wars sets. Most of the 18 plus sets are not double VIP points, so it means that I don't know why. There really isn't a reason why. I thought this was all for adults, but it seems that they're excluding those. We do get some other discounts that we're going to see. It looks like we're going to get our three main UCS sets of the Sail Barge, the Interceptor, TIE Interceptor, and the ATST Walker, getting about 20% off and 4 times VIP points. There's some other discounts. The Mandalorian helmet, the Star Wars logo are going to be on there, and just some really interesting selections for that. I think that they've chosen those specifically because they aren't selling that well. I'm not 100% on that, but I think that they had a choice. They decided to go with this. There's, of course, a Lego Insider sweepstakes to get some of the brickheads and buildable figures to go along with it. other promotions, we're not 100% yet. So we're going to have to wait and see exactly what they're going to come out with. But it's going to be a busy weekend. I know that Lego stores are going to have their own sets that you can build. Mine, the Disney store, is going to be doing a small N1 micro build free in store. Probably not going to have enough pieces for everybody, but who knows? So if you have a store in your area, I would recommend going down just to check it out. Maybe not on the first day, because that's usually the busiest, but then after, definitely something to check out. Now, Amazon's taken it upon themselves, as always, to compete to see if people would rather buy their sets than go over to Lego. And they're doing some pretty nice discounts, upwards of 20 to 30% currently, but they'll probably change. Some of them are even lower than that. We've got some that are from $80 down to $55, and just a range of different ones that you might want to get. So Cap Van Speeder, the AT-AT, not the big one, K2SO, Jango Fett's Starship, the Playscale one. So check out that as well. If you're not interested in the VIP points, this is something else that you could look into getting instead. Now, we've talked about stealing is bad, and well, it seems some other people didn't get the memo because they decided that they would walk into a Target, they bought a bunch of Lego sets, and then promptly return them with them opened and having removed every minifigure because they were going to go and sell those minifigures individually because, it's similar to like Pokemon pack. You can buy one for $10 and then there could be a $400 card in there. But you can't reseal it the same as the Lego set. Anyways, so they were caught, the 25 and 30-year-old in Orange County. Of course, California seems to be the worst at this. So yeah, stop stealing. It just doesn't work. Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight is on its way here, and it recently just reached on TT Games the official confirmation of a status gold, which means it is finally finished. It said when an in-development game has gone gold, that means the base game is completed, TT Games explained. In the olden days, games were printed on gold master discs when finished. It's a major development milestone, and we're so happy we could share this with you. I wonder if they actually did print it or like put it on a memory stick, which would be pretty cool to have it on a gold disc, similar to like what they do when a record goes platinum. But it's coming out on May 22nd. There are some early releases looking to be on the May 19th for the deluxe edition. I don't know. I mean, I think people are going to receive this well. It's a fun franchise to build off of instead of just Star Wars. So I think the adjustment to a realm focused in the Batverse will be a fresh new start for people to enjoy. So yes, we talked about May the 4th as the big selling point for this month, but there are other sets that you might want to get. We might have some fans of Formula One as the helmets are finally here. The Scuderia Ferrari Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton helmets are coming out. Those are individually $90 each. We have the football edition sets, which we just talked about, kind of look like crap. I don't know why that people would spend money on that, but that's me. I digress. Lego Toy Story, the Slinky Dog bookends. We've got Lotso the Bear, Alien and Pizza Planet Rocket Ride, and Blazing Horses Ranch, a 4+ set. Rocking Plants is the new botanical set. It's $20 to $23 and very cute as the first ones were. One I'm very excited about, unfortunately won't be released till the 7th, is the Jurassic Park Jeep Wrangler, which is $200 for that. It's iconic. And then the Legacy of the Dark Knight, the video game, is coming out this May. So it's not a huge spread. It's specifically going to be Star Wars, but it's still something fun if you're looking for something else instead. And that is all the breaking news we have. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's podcast. I hope you learned a lot and are prepared for May the 4th. It's definitely a lot of information, but if you are interested in buying anything, this is a good time and understanding of what you can do to maximize your, not only your points, but really focusing on what you really want to spend your money on. But make sure also to subscribe to the podcast, tell your friends, tell your family, so that they can all learn about it as well and have fun. Well, just talking about Lego like I like to do. All right, let's move into our set reviews. Our first one is the Lego set ATST Walker, set 75417, part of the Star Wars line. It's an 18+ set at 1,513 pieces, and it'll cost you $200. And it comes with 53 reviews at, it looks like 4.3 stars. It is going to earn you 1,300 insiders points currently. As it goes up, times that by 4 once we start. And it is a very nice adjustment to what we've seen. We've seen the standard minifigure scale ATSTs, and there was an Ultimate Collector's Series ATST back in the day, which I do have. And this is along those same lines because the previous small scale UCS used to be 200. Now it's just climbing. It's 250 now for the N1 Starfighter. This one isn't even classified as an Ultimate Collector's Series set, but it does the job. It has a display plaque. It has a single minifigure of the pilot, and it looks just like the ATST Walker. It's got the 2 main leg system, the upper body, and the rocket launcher and gun on either side of the head. It isn't like a crazy amount of techniques to get this done. It does have the rear vent pieces for the engine system. It balances well because it's got those hinge plates. It looks like interlocking Technic to have the legs because it's going to balance on 2 legs. It's not huge either. It's going to stand just over 14 inches high and 8.5 inches long and about 8.5 inches wide. So it is a decent size. And if you're a big fan of the ATST, this is going to be your cheapest version of a air quotes UCS set compared to all the other ones. And this will have those 4-time VIP points. And there's a link in the description to help out the podcast. Now moving on to our diorama. This is the Death Star Overbridge diorama mock by the creator Mox. And it is a little steep. It's 30 euros just to get the instructions for this. It's a 1,714 piece build. And you'll know it from the iconic scene of Grand Moff Tarkin bringing in Leia to tell them where the rebel base is and then destroying her planet of Alderaan. And it has a couple small details to it where we've got the wall on the side with the classic like vented lights. It has details on the wall of the paneling because those are different than just a flat wall. And then the viewport, which is very interesting because it has a sloped section in the bottom and then it slopes back up. And then of course the stars out in space. And then you can actually change out the different viewpoints. You can have it as the Alderaan is green and blue, then it is brown, and then it has an explosion and the Death Star laser pointed as it explodes. There are 2 control stations on either side that he's saying to like activate, but then there's also director credit when they fire on Jeddah, the city of Jeddah. I don't actually remember what the planet's called, and filling it with a bunch of minifigures because it looks like you can fit like almost 20 minifigures on it. So it's rather large, but it's definitely a great way to display your minifigs and an iconic scene in Star Wars history as we see the first thing destroyed by the Death Star. Very, very cool build. And if you really like this scene, go out and buy these instructions. All right, everyone, that's all I had. Again, thank you for listening to the podcast. And I'll leave you, as I always do, get creative, get out there, and go build something.